Hi everyone, so I'm back with a quick let's make for you. I'm doing an autumn journal at the moment, and I'm gonna do some collaged tags or journal cards if you want to call them. So I've got this card. It's been coffee dyed on one side only because I'm going to back it with some coffee dyed paper, so I was only worried about doing the one side, save the coffee. I've cut them to let me see, they're 5.5 by 3.5, and I have 4 of them, and I'm going to be using some elements from ARTYmaze's kit called Autumn Medley. So I've got loads of things all set into one side, but to start with I'm going to gesso them all. So this is the gesso that I use, get it from Amazon, and I'm going to plop a little bit onto this acrylic block that I have, just like that, and I'm going to use my brayer. You don't have to use a brayer, I just kind of want that like unevenish bit with it, because it doesn't always do it, you know, completely cover it, because obviously it's not a paintbrush. So we'll do that. I've got some of my own makeshift sprays in a red and like a burnt orange colour that I've managed to whiz up. Just happened to turn out the colours for autumn, so I need a little bit more of that. So I hope everyone is doing well. I'm getting over that nasty cold that I had. Still feel a little bit rubbish, but much better than I was. Hate being ill. I mean, I know nobody likes being ill. Nobody likes it, do they? But oh, I hate being incapacitated, because I find it hard to like sit on my butt. Okay, so I'm just going to wipe that off. I know I could have put that onto another piece, but I haven't got time for that right now. Okay, so I'm going to quickly dry these a little bit, and then I'll show you the sprays. That's what I've got left of the red that I've made, and that's just acrylic paint with water and a little teeny bit of alcohol in there, just to only put a little bit in it. So let's get these drying. I'll be back. Okay, so I've dried these. I think I'm just going to spray this directly onto my glass mat. If you don't have a glass mat, then you can spray directly onto the pages. Where I shook that, some of it come out. So I'm just going to spray on there if I haven't clogged it up. You can see that's a really kind of burnt orange. Obviously it's just red and yellow. Yep, and I think I've clogged it up a little bit. Right, we'll see what we can do with that in a sec. I'll probably do all this and then you won't actually be able to see any of it whatsoever. Right, if that's clogged up, I'm just gonna put little bits on there. I might stop and take this indoors and give it a really good wash through some hot water. If it clogs up, that's the best thing to do. It wasn't clogged before I done this, so I'm not worried about the back, because obviously I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna cover that over. I'll try it again, see if it comes out. Yep, it's gonna come out. Just need a little shake. There we go. I very well may gesso a little bit over the top of this, so just see how it all goes. And a good idea with a paper towel is just dab. Oh, excuse me, just dab, and it just gives, you know, a different effect. So that's the burnt orange, and obviously if you're not doing that in autumn themed, you can do any colours you like. Okay, right, we'll get that dry and then we'll come back and do the red on top. Right, whilst I was drying them, I thought, do you know what, I'm going to add a little bit of yellow, see how that goes. Could really mess this up, but I'm going to spray on directly onto it, but I'm going to keep it high because I don't want like saturation, too much saturation. Yep, liking that. So obviously if you hold it close, you will get, let me do it on the back, if you get it close like that, you'll get that kind of look. I don't want that kind of look, but if you do want that kind of look, then go for it. So I'm just going to hold it up a little bit higher, there we go. And what side is that? Yep. Because these are the most beautiful colours in the world, I think. It's all the autumn colours. They're very warm and cosy. That's all I can say, warm and cosy. And this ink actually is, you know, the refills that you get for your ink cartridges. If you've got like a inkjet, or I've got loads left over from when I used to do my refilling myself. So I had put just I think I put some yellow in there and it wasn't quite yellow enough. So I just put a few little droplets of that in there and it came out just perfect. So I shall dry these and then I'll be back. Okay, so the yellow was all dry. So we've got the kind of burnt orange, the yellow, and now I'm going to come in with this red. And again, I don't want like the red to saturate the page or, you know, take over the whole thing. So I'm going to hold it up high. I can't remember how red this is. Okay, just a tad on there, just like that. Just like that. The heat tool is kind of drying me out. That's why I'm coughing, and probably because I'm talking as well. Okay, so I'll dry these and I'll be back. I've decided to use an embossing folder, which I'm just going to show you this embossing folder now. I got this out because I wasn't sure whether you'd actually see the design on it or not. I don't think you can. Maybe it would just be better like that, who knows. So I'm going to use that. I'm not going to do this on screen because I'm going to have to do it elsewhere because I don't have enough room to get everything on here. So I'm going to go and do that. So the embossing is going to be just down there and there, so it's a bit of a corner one, and then I will kind of flip some of them round so that that's at the top and these are at the bottom. So I'll go off and do that and then I'll be back. Okay, so they've all been embossed. Hope you can see that. You probably won't see much of it once it's done because I'm just going to collage basically in the center. So I'm going to keep some of them up that way, so we'll keep them two up that way and then them two down there. But first of all, I'm going to, hopefully this isn't gonna, I'm just gonna gently go over that with, that's had it that, I need to get some more, just go over to make the embossing pop a little bit so you can see it. So that's adding the nice brown into all them autumn colours. Okay, so we'll do that. It's getting a bit noisy around here. All the kids have come home from school now. You can hear them all out playing and it's getting so dark. You know, it's like, what was it, 7:30 and it's getting dark. Clocks change next month and it will be dark about 4 o'clock and that'll be it. We'll be snuggled up, the heating on, the fleecy pyjamas. I'm still moving all my craft stuff into my spare room. I was going to start sorting stuff out this week, well today actually, but I'm okay sitting crafting, but I don't have a lot of energy to be doing that. So hopefully I'll feel better in a few days to crack on with that and hopefully be in there in the next 2 to 3 weeks. There we go, so that's that done. There we go. Right, some papers. Got some music paper, of course. I'm going to just tear some of this so obviously I need about 4 bits, and that bit was perfect. So we'll have some of that. Don't need that, so it can go straight in the bin. I have got some bits here from one of the pages from ARTYmaze. So I'm just going to tear that. And we'll do this bit. We'll have 2 of them. And what else do we have? I have a piece of this that will break it up just a little bit. This is from one of Andrea's ephemera kits. So we'll have some of that. We'll have 2 pieces of that, obviously. Might have to trim that down a little bit more. And I'm going to go through all the things that I've got already. See, that's a nice one. I love that image. These are all the bits that are going into the journal. Have maybe that. And I like that, but I'm not going to use that, I don't think. I'll leave it out just in case. I want them a little bit, the pieces a little bit smaller. I love that image as well. I love it all. That's another smallish one. So I'll probably have to use one of them larger pieces, but I don't want to use that way too big. Maybe that, and trim it down just a little bit. And I know I need some cheesecloth, and I still haven't dyed my big lump of cheesecloth, so I might just have to use that white. Something else on the list of things to do. Okay, so I don't know how long this video is going to be. I'm going to ink around all of these, and I am going to trim that down just a little bit. I can find my crap. Oh, such a mess just making 4 tags. Oh, that didn't go through very well. There we go. Whoops. Use a paper trimmer, obviously, if you wish. Let's see. Yep. Trim that down just a little bit as well, because I want to see the collaging that I'm going to do. You want that to peek through, without a doubt. Otherwise, it's all a waste of time. What I'll do is I'll ink all these bits up, everything that needs inking, and then I'll be back just to save a little bit of time on this video. Okay, so everything's been inked up, and that white cheesecloth I just sprayed with all the same inks that I sprayed on there, and it come out this colour, and I thought, okay, that's good, that is better than white. So I've done them like that so that I know which things I'm putting on which one. Okay, so I'm just going to ink up around the edges. I'm going to keep them squared at the top and the bottom, and I'm just going to use, just if you're doing this, just use whatever glue you have. So I'm just using this tacky glue, which I needed to get hold of, and I went to the range the other week and they didn't have any, so, and I'm not ordering it from Amazon because they are charging through the roof for it. And of course we've got this lorry driver shortage at the moment as well, so things are not getting delivered. So there's waiting time. Even on Amazon I noticed that there's what I would normally, let's say, buy today, it would be turning up tomorrow, and now I'm getting dates for like the 5th and 6th of October, so I'm not happy about that. I did order some stuff because I thought, well, if it's going to take that long now, if I leave it and waiting for maybe it to come earlier, it might not happen. So and there's a good possibility I could run out of ink for my printer. So I'll have to get on with doing other stuff like moving my shed into my house. So I'm just popping that there. I have got there's other little bits that I want to add to this. Little quotes that I've got somewhere. So once I've done all this, I'll go on the hunt for them, because I might put one just like down there. Okay. Right, so that's that one there. And what? Excuse me. So at least we're still seeing some of the embossing, which is a good thing after spending the time to do it. Once I move into the house, I'm going to have more work surface space, and I'll be able to like use some of my stuff that I really can't use at the moment, because I am limited to, believe it or not, I have, you know, I really do have about this much space to craft in, but my work surface in the shed is probably about 12 foot long. It's just full of stuff like printers and sewing machines and paper and lots of other stuff that just lays around, irons. Okay, I will kind of pull away at the cheesecloth once it's dried properly, but I don't want to do that just yet. So this would be a good mass making project if you wanted to sit there with, you know, like build up your stash, especially if you're doing like eclectic style journals, because, you know, you can just make up what you want. Whereas, like, you know, I do a lot of themed journals, so I don't really do a great deal of mass making, apart from coffee dyeing and cutting out butterflies. Because as you know, I do like my butterflies. Okay. So it's nearly dinner time here. I made myself, the rest of the family will have something else because they don't like homemade soup. They'll have it out of tin, but they won't make, you know, good healthy homemade soup. They won't eat that. I made myself a leek and vegetable soup, and I've got enough to do me today and tomorrow. And then I decided today to cook a chicken breast and pop that in there as well. Like shredded it all up and added that. So I'm looking forward to that. I will stitch all around this as well. Actually, we'll do it that way because I tore that a little bit too short. So I still want to see that red peeking out. I normally let this, when I do the cheesecloth, I normally like let it dry naturally, but I done this with a heat gun and it feels different to what it normally would. So I might try that later with just some coffee. I know why it's different, because obviously the paints are acrylic. That's why. Didn't think about that, but that's probably what it is. The acrylic paints making it feel just, you know, the texture's different. Okay, so I think that's right. I'm going to let them dry and I'm going to find out them little quote labels and see if I can find them, and then I'll be back. Okay, so I found some. I've got a tab full of little bits and pieces that I had left over from the other autumn journals that I've made. So thankfully I didn't have to print any. Like I said, trying to save the ink at the moment, and I'll try and get that one the right way. So that's that one. They are tiny. Oh, I've got really sticky fingers now. I don't know whether to put some fabric tabs on the top or use my tab punch. Decisions. Normally when I'd have that dilemma, I'd just come back to it, but obviously because I'm doing the video, I can't. So let's have a look. I've got some of that, but it's just got blue in it. I don't want that. Let me go think. Okay, so I chose the punch and I have sewn around. I added the coffee dyed paper to the backs because, you know, it's just, you don't want to be watching me do that, it's boring, and stitched all around, and that is the tags done. So they will be going in my journal. That's it here. It'll be going in there somewhere, and obviously you'll see this when it's done. I'll hopefully get this done tonight. I've got loads of stuff all sitting to the side anyway, so there we go. And I love that collage page from ARTYmaze's autumn medley kit. Beautiful. I might just put a little label down there, but anyway, right, enough about that. That is them. I will put a little picture up on at the beginning of this video anyway, so you know what I'm making, and it'll be on Insta and all that kind of stuff. So if you have any questions, just ask, and thanks for watching. Bye.